Well, everybody, it's Chris here from the Naked Gaming podcast team, and it's a bit of a special episode this month because the PlayStation Portal has finally arrived. There's so much to discuss with this. I didn't want to bore Lee to death, and I won't bore you to death. I won't go through the painstaking process that I've been through to try and get the PlayStation Portal to work. But I do want to say that for something that was released last year, 2023, on November the 15th, it took pretty much exactly 6 months for me to get my hands on one. So let's kick it off with a little rundown of what the PlayStation Portal actually is and how much does it cost. So it's essentially £200 or $200, depending on if you're buying it in the US or the UK. And it was supposed to be available in a lot of different places. PlayStation Direct, for example. I managed to finally get mine ordered from EE, which was a bit unusual. The EE store finally had some PlayStation Portals in stock. Just to run you through the stats, it's got an 8-inch screen. It can handle sort of 1080p type display, 60 hertz. And how it charges is a USB-C, which it comes with the cable for that. And you can also use it with the haptic feedback that the PlayStation controllers have. So that's really cool. It feels like you're holding a PlayStation controller with a screen in the middle. It does take headphones, but wired headphones only, unless you've got the PlayStation Bluetooth headphones, which I think is such an odd choice. Given that it's a handheld thing that you're probably buying so that you can sit in the corner of the living room while other stuff goes on, you probably will want to use headphones with it. It connects with Wi-Fi 5, not Wi-Fi 6, which is something that I ran into. And it's just a good weight. It feels like the weight of about 2 PlayStation controllers. So it's a nice size. It's a nice colour because it's white. And the battery life is pretty good. You probably get about 6, 7, 8 hours out of it. But it sort of doesn't matter because if you're playing it at home, which you kind of have to because it's Wi-Fi only, you could easily just plug it into the wall. So I don't think that the battery life kind of matters. Something else to let you know about before we dive into this, because I had to wait 6 months to get the PlayStation Portal, and I've talked before about having a Steam Deck, I actually managed to configure the Steam Deck to run the PlayStation remotely. So I've been using that to play games like Helldivers 2, mostly actually, to be honest with you, but also Final Fantasy. I've been kind of playing remotely around the house, and it's been a very hit and miss experience with the Steam Deck. Sometimes it's incredible, and sometimes there seems to be a problem with the Wi-Fi or the connection, or it just doesn't quite like it. So there's occasionally a bit of lag in the mix and stuttering, and the picture is tearing, and it's not brilliant. So anyway, that's the background. The Steam Deck actually arrived, and I was pretty excited. This is the whole unboxing process, and I've cut it down a little bit, but just how long it takes to set up. Well, the Portal has finally arrived, and it's kind of in its box, looking like I expected it would. So I'm going to open it for you and see how you set it up and whether it's any good. It says, put the PS5 in the palm of your hand. Well, I can tell you now, it's taken about, I'm going to say 6 months for me to get hold of one of these, constantly checking online. I ordered one from Very, and then they said, oh, yes, this is in stock. It'll be delivered in the next couple of days. And then they said, oh, sorry, this isn't actually in stock, but we've got your money and we'll keep it for the next month and we'll let you know. And I was like, no. So I managed to finally get one off EE, which was the EE store, which I didn't really think of as a place that you would get something like this. But hey-ho. There you go. Right, so the outer box is off. Unboxed. Now there's another box which is grey with the PlayStation symbol on, and I'm lifting off the lid of it, and here we go, the PlayStation Portal, which is essentially a controller with a screen sort of shoved in the middle of it, and that's your lot really. It doesn't do anything except for mirror your PlayStation's output, so you can play the PlayStation on the telly if you want whilst controlling it through this and having a little screen in front of you. I've been using my Steam Deck, let's just take this plastic wrapping off, to control the PlayStation, and unfortunately it started off very well and ended up having an enormous amount of lag and chopping, and it just was unusable in the end because of an update of this thing called Chucky for Deck, or Chucky, that people use. So I thought, no, I'm going to, continue my quest to get the PlayStation Portal, and here it is. The first thing that's immediately obvious to me is that it hasn't come with a case. For 200 quid, you get a screen and the controller buttons and no case. All right, it does look pretty sweet, though, I must say. So let's turn on the power button, even though I would imagine it needs charging. Also, it's probably going to need a screen protector, because I've taken the sticker off and it's just there. Well, I'm going to take it away for you. I'm going to charge this beast up and see how to connect it up to the PlayStation. Oh, I was about to stop then, but actually it's already got 50% battery, so might as well crack on, shall we, while we've got time. So it's already half charged. It's just loading up with the PlayStation screen. I wonder if I turn the volume up if you can hear anything that's going on. Seems to be loading. I guess we wait for it to load. Oh, here we go. It's going now. Let's turn the volume up so you can hear it. Oh, wow. It's quite responsive in terms of setting up its internet connection. So I'm joining my home network, which I can't remember the password of. So I'm going to have to pause the recording. Okay, we've managed to input the password. And on we go. Update the system software for this device. Okay, thanks very much indeed. I agree to sign away my life. Of course I do. Yeah. Oh, how many pages is it? Oh, it's an endless scroll. I'm just scrolling now. System software license agreement. I mean, no one could ever possibly read this because you don't have 40 years of your life to spare. General legal it ends with. Wonderful. That's nice. Okay. Apparently I agree to that. Installing the system software update. So this is just to give you an idea of the process of how long it actually takes to get going with this. I'm going to have to connect it to the PlayStation in a minute, which I'm slightly dreading because I've heard rumour that it doesn't necessarily recognise your PlayStation straight away. So it's on 7% of the update. I'm just going to turn on my PS5 now and get the ball rolling on hooking it up. And I mean, really, I'm hopeful that the connection is going to be good enough that I don't notice any significant lag. I think that's kind of what I was worried about. And with the Steam Deck, when it initially started working, it was absolutely brilliant. It really managed to feel like you were just sitting and watching your telly and playing the PlayStation through a handheld console, which was kind of amazing. So this is where this is going to either make or break the Portal, because unlike the Steam Deck, which can just play games in its own right, it can't do anything else. The other thing I wanted to mention as well is that I do have, because of gaming and that, gigabit internet. Gigafast, I think it's called. So it should be the best that you can get. We shall see. Right, PlayStation's going on. The reason I've got the Portal, by the way, is because I'm keen to play Helldivers 2, but I don't necessarily want to dominate the whole living room by sitting in there in a massive chair. I have an unfolding chair that I can put there, and then just sit in the middle of the room, and everyone else has to deal with that. It'd be much easier if I could not do it like that. Just logging in, and it's asking me because my PlayStation Online has run out. PlayStation Plus Essential, which means I have to pay £60. Oh, man. Well, I guess that's the way the cookie crumbles. Bye-bye, money. I mean, I really think you should add that on to the price of the Portal if that's the game I want to play, and I can't without the 60 quid. And I've already paid 40 quid for Helldivers. Okay, friends, we're on 88% now, so I'm expecting it to have updated pretty soon with the system software update. I guess you've got to do these things to keep it, rocking and rolling and current and able to be compatible with the latest games and stuff. So that's what we're doing here still. It's been a little while, probably about 7 or 8 minutes, something like that. Not massively long, but Also not massively quick. I've got the PS5 sitting there ready to hook up as soon as this install is done. Oh, we finally hit 100%. It's taken about 15 minutes to do that update. Longer than I expected, actually. I slightly lost the will to live, but I think we're in business now. We're back on the PlayStation loading screen. Oh no, it's updating the controller device software. I suppose in many ways this updating process is like the process of actually buying the PlayStation Portal itself. You know, you think you're going to get it and then they say it's on the way, but then no, sorry, there's a cancellation. And, you know, I was about to play the game then and sorry, you've just got to wait a little bit longer. It's fine. I'm not annoyed about it or anything. Just listening to a man slowly losing his mind, waiting to play a game that he has paid £40 for.
Stop kidding around. Snake?
Okay, so the boring bit's done. We're now pairing with the PS5. I'd say that bit took about half an hour, though. Turn on your PlayStation. From the home screen, turn on Enable Remote Play. You're set up and ready to go. Excellent. Okay, I'll believe it when it works. Connecting to PS5. Beep, beep. Oh. Wow, and now I'm mirroring the screen. And it's on the handheld device, which is very cool. You can see the lag is not very bad at all. Let's have a go at Helldivers 2, the reason I bought this, I'm not going to swear, blimmin' console. Okay, it's quite laggy.
The automatons are a far greater threat to liberty than we were led to believe.
There's definitely some choppiness, which is interesting because my internet connection should be pretty rock solid. So I wonder why that would be. This is actually worse than the Steam Deck in terms of how it connects to the PlayStation, so not brilliant at all. This could be a little bit of a...
You truly are one of Liberty's greatest heroes.
Could be a bit of a letdown, this, after all that effort and time and money. Okay, I'll come back to you. So yeah, it didn't actually work. After I got on the phone to PlayStation and said, I've tried everything under the sun, including the fact that I've got a Steam Deck and it works on the Steam Deck and it's much better than the actual Portal, which is designed with the PlayStation. They agreed to let me send it back, and then a new one came out from EE. And that one, I'm delighted to say, did finally work. So I managed to get myself a working PlayStation Portal. Our internet is odd. We have Sky Internet, and you can divide the router into two bands. There's the 2.4 gigahertz and the 5 gigahertz. The 5 gigahertz is supposed to be the best for gaming because it's supposed to be transfer more data. And I found weirdly that the Portal worked better on the 2.4 band, but I think that's because there was a lot of other things like laptops and phones and other stuff running on the 5 gigahertz band. Also, the PlayStation is connected to the router with a cable, so that doesn't have anything to do with it. So I've got it working, and it is pretty good. I can say that it is better than the Steam Deck. It did seem to be a lot more rock solid with this new model, so I don't know if they'd sent me a dodgy one. I find that the PlayStation tends to overheat when you're playing remotely more than when you're playing normally. Which means that because of the cabinet that we've got it in, if the door's closed to that, for example, it goes crazily hot and then it breaks. So you have to kind of factor that in. The problem that I'm running into with playing a game like Helldivers is you need to press the middle pad, you know, that sort of sensitive, huge button in the middle of the PlayStation controller to bring up the map. And to do that on the Portal, you have to double tap your thumb on the screen, which I was a bit worried about with the handheld. The map then comes up, and it's not really that sensitive, so it's quite complicated, bit of a faff compared to the Steam Deck, where you can just assign that that to the sensitive right-hand sort of mini mouse type thing that's on there, the touchpad, the trackpad that's much more sensitive. So using the map is tough. The haptic triggers, though, are really nice. You really feel like you're shooting guns and, all the usual stuff from the controller. So I would say that overall, it's better than the Steam Deck experience. Something I've tried to do is to upgrade our internet to Sky's Wi-Fi Max. And I can say that although you can't split the bands with the Wi-Fi Max, you have to just accept what you're given. So the 2.4 and the 5 gigahertz bands do not divide, which is ridiculous. And it's supposed to have a band 6, which it doesn't. Anyway, it does work a lot better with better Wi-Fi. So that has taken the process to the next level. It's taken the experience to the next level. And I would say it's almost like playing the PlayStation now remotely, which is why I bought it in the first place, because I didn't want to be hogging the big telly while my son watched Elemental or Coco or basically anything on Disney. So overall, it's better than the Steam Deck. The price, £200 for something that you can essentially do on your phone. You can remote play the PlayStation on your phone or the Steam Deck. It's a lot of money. So if you're not massively into gaming and you don't care about the feedback from the controller, for example, you don't care about slightly more lag, if you can cope with all of that, then £200 for essentially something that only does one job, I don't know if that's really worth it. Now, we're lucky because we review gaming products as part of our jobs, so for me it's easier. But if you're not a huge gamer, £200 just to essentially mirror the screen when you can do it on your phone, I don't know if that's worth it. It might be better to put your £200 towards your next phone and just get a better one of those. Anyway, the gaming experience overall is better. If you've got the money and the patience and you don't get a dodgy one sent out to you, then I think it could just be worth it.
Hello, follow me. Okay.
Anyway, that's our review of the PlayStation Portal. PlayStation, next time you release something, please just make it a bit easier for us to get hold of. That'd be nice to not have to wait 6 months. We're back next month with reviews of Dragon's Dogma 2 on the Naked Gaming Podcast. Also, No Rest for the Wicked, which is really cool. And I've been back to play Helldivers 1 after committing an enormous amount of time to Helldivers 2. I want to see what the original is all about. Anyway, thanks for listening. Lee and I will be back next time. She's earning all the money at the moment and doing all the work, so here I am sitting in the box. But we'll catch you next month on the Naked Gaming Pod. Do make sure you check us out online. We're on X at Naked Gaming Pod, and you can send us a message there. We will check it out.